What's buzzing, cousins? Welcome back to the channel. I figured I should probably put a new game that I've been playing on here, so I'm just gonna do a first impressions review. Yeah, I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, and I didn't post YouTube videos my whole life like I should have, I guess, but I've played a lot of fucking video games, alright? And it feels like they're all in this game. This game feels like gumbo of action RPG stuff. It's not really linear, so I don't know what to call it because I don't want anybody to cuss me out in the comments. But fuck that though. Y'all came here to know about the first impressions, or my first impressions of the game, and probably if you should buy this game or not. So I'm just gonna lead with I like this game. It does definitely have its own identity, which I will get into, but I just wanted to, I'm editing this now, I just wanted to interrupt myself and say that shit. So I'm gonna be breaking this down into separate categories. We're gonna do 4 separate categories. Actually 5, because I guess I gotta talk about the story a little bit. So, number 1, combat. World and exploration. Performance, not gonna spend a lot of time on that because I did purchase this on console. Skills and progression. And last but not least, the story and the overall feel of the game. So we're gonna kick it off with the combat. If you have played Black Desert Online, which I didn't play too much of it, but the whole reason I wanted to play the game when I found out about it whenever it was released, was the combat. That was one of the best things about that game, and especially being an MMO. So now this being a single player experience, I think the combat is great, personally.
Smell that? It's your fear.
And we'll talk about this more in skills and progression, but it's satisfying more so when you've upgraded. Cliff, that's the protagonist name here in this game. And the weather's been kind of fucked up where I live, hot and cold, so I sound kind of sick. I think I'm a little sick, so yeah, just bear with me. But the combat is very satisfying on this game. You can do hand-to-hand combat or use your sword or shield, or you can dual wield, and you even have a bow and arrow as expected if you are delving into, I guess, just any modern fucking role-playing game now that's back in these time periods. I guess you could say, what are these, the Dark Ages? But this is all fucking fictional anyways, but y'all get what I'm saying. You have the option of two-handed weapons as well. I don't think I've unlocked that ability yet because I can't use two-handed weapons. I got like a giant sledgehammer I can't use, great sword, things like that. But blocking is gonna be your friend as far as some of the boss battles that I've encountered already. Fucking annoying, bruh. Souls-like. I was about to say Souls-like. Souls-like for sure. As far as how annoying it can be and your timing and everything like that. Like, I don't really like Souls games if you can't tell, but I like the combat in this because it reminds me of other games besides that too. The thing is I guess just the difficulty spike when you're going from killing, I guess, like bandits and other random NPCs and stuff, and then you get into a boss battle. There's a little bit of a curve there. And I haven't went through my settings and everything. Maybe you can change this, but I don't recall the game asking me what difficulty I wanted to play on, which is fine. I would have picked hard anyways. But what I'm saying is the game is kind of fucking hard a little bit anyways. And it's supposed to be, I think. Food is going to be your best friend besides blocking and dodging. You're definitely going to need a lot of food and to skillfully upgrade your character, but food. Have food. You need food. World and exploration. So,
Do you need something, stranger?
in my experience so far, there is a lot of land to cover. There's enough, even some sky. If you consider the abyss, that is a great deal of your exploration, I guess I should say, is going to come from you jumping out of the fucking sky. Because, I mean, until you find basically a abyss nexus points, you find them out in the world. They're usually the little question marks on the map. So Go to those Red Dead Redemption looking question marks on your map. Go see what that is. The big ones, with the cloud behind them, like when you search the area on Red Dead, those are usually Abyss Nexus points, and that's where you're going to teleport to. They're in the sky, they're on the ground, they're on mountains, they're underground, they're every fucking where. So find them because it's going to make traversal for you a lot easy. And we'll discuss that more when we get to the skill section, but traversal, I mean, for me, it kind of sucked at first because you can't fly or anything. Like, you can't do shit yet until you upgrade the skills, pretty much. Contrary to the name, the Abyss is high in the sky, and it is going to be your best friend as far as getting around in this game. You can ride your horse around if you want to, but that's not fun in any game. And until you have enough Nexus points, basically spots for you to teleport from, your main source of getting around is probably going to be jumping out of heaven or the Abyss, whatever you want to call it, to Earth, because it's way quicker than riding your horse around. And even if it's still far, you'll probably get like 400 or 500 meters closer than you were in the first place. And teleporting ain't taking that long. We're about to get into performance here in a second, but I mean, it doesn't take that long to load anything really, which is not that incredible, I guess. But before we go to performance, though, I did mention exploration too. So there are some elements of discovery to this game, kind of like when you were playing Batman Arkham and you got to investigate the crime scene. You basically put on a fucking helmet with antennas. It's called Vision or something like that. Anyways, you pull out your fucking lantern, it starts glowing. It shows you shit, and you see like a depiction of what may have happened. So then you put on your fucking Vision. You put on your bat helmet, basically, and then you see a reenactment of what happened. It progresses the story. It lets you know what you need to do next. I didn't really know how to fucking do it at first. It was kind of actually annoying at first, but once you get used to it, you get used to it, and you realize what you need to do or what you need to look at, and etc. And as far as traversing the land, there are a bunch of cool things you can do, like slingshot yourself from a tree, or your horse. You can like axiom push or whatever they call it, I forgot. Anyways, you can push yourself off of your horse. You can basically force push yourself off of your horse. You can actually do that up to 3 times if you upgrade your abilities and get up to higher surfaces, climb a mountain or so. If you don't have the stamina to just climb it outright, then you can do that. So there's a bunch of cool little stuff. There's a lot to uncover in this game, especially as far as the world and exploration and how you explore the world. But I think I've spent enough time on that, so we're going to go to the next category now. Performance-wise, I haven't had any issues with this thing. Well, one minor issue. I'm playing on the Figgy Fat Boy PS5. I don't have a Pro or anything like that. No problems, no overheating. But when I first got the game, probably like whenever it released, like the first fucking hour I played it, I was trying to check the minimap and it crashed twice. So that was dumb as fuck, but it hasn't happened anymore since then. I haven't had any texture popping, no lagging. I mean, no frame drops that I would notice that I give a fuck about. You probably can change it from fidelity to performance. I don't know if this game even has that setting. I didn't check any settings. I'm straight on that. So yeah, I mean, it runs good on console. I decided not to use my scat pack of a PC. Some people say that's slow. Let me not say that. And I got a Camaro anyways, but yeah, I just didn't feel like dealing with like PC shit. Sometimes you install the game, then there's other issues and blah blah blah. Like, I was anticipating this game, I just wanted to play it, and it worked like I'm a child. So I got it on PS5 and it runs fine. Skills and progression. Now, this shit right here, nigga.
Shit right here, nigga. This shit right here, nigga. Right here, this shit, nigga. This shit here, nigga.
You're going to want to make sure that you pay express attention to your skills and progression. You being Cliff, the main protagonist in this game, because you have two additional partners that you can play as, kind of like in GTA 5. You just switch to Trevor or Franklin or Michael. Like, you can do that here, and you can upgrade their skills too, but they're not as important as you are. Like, the quests that are your quests, they are your quests. Those characters have their own quest too, which Cliff cannot do, type shit. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really waste my time upgrading those characters until you get Cliff where you want him. But there's a lot of cool shit you can do as far as, like we talked about earlier, traversal. You can use the force palm in a fight too, though. It is very useful, or it can be, and I look forward to seeing what else I can do with that. But first impressions, I like what I've been able to do with the skill tree and the move set, the buffs, I guess, that you get, you can say, and not really buffs, just abilities and techniques. And the coolest thing about it, as far as the, I guess, progression piece that you can say, is you kind of like learn in the environment, right? So in the environment, if you see someone shoveling, you can learn how to shovel if you just watch them for a bit or focus on them, kind of like how you do in Red Dead or any other game y'all know, where you just hold a button and you can focus to interact type shit. So you can do that here, but in combat, like you probably seen earlier in this video, if someone has a certain technique, someone or something, you can learn that mid-fight. Time kind of slows down, they get highlighted in blue, you learn the technique, and then you are able to do that. So certain skills in this game are learned through experience too. They're not all upgradable, if you will, or you can't spend skill points on them. In this game, the skill points are the Abyss Nexus cubes or Abyss cubes. I don't know, I'm not really looking at it right now, I'm just kind of doing the commentary for this. So you upgrade with those. You also have empty ones as well, where I guess if you want to retract an ability that you don't want anymore, you can put that back in the cube, blah, 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 right? You can also upgrade your armor and equipment. You do this with Abyss gears. You need to go to a witch that's in a cave, and I guess she enchants your items or whatever, but point being is when you get these gears, the only way to essentially think of it as like adding runes to your devices. So now we're kind of talking about the buffs. This is how you do that. So you can add it to armor, weapons, I think the bow too, I think pretty much everything. And I think you may be able to remove them as well. So first you have to create the rune slot or abyss gear slot in the item, so the armor or the weapon, whatever it is. And then once you do that, then you start to apply the gears to it, and they give you the desired results based on whatever the gear is. So you can pretty much use the elements or Mother Nature in your arsenal. So you can use lightning, fire, I've seen that. I'm sure there are probably other ones too, but from my experience, those are the only two that I've used so far in combat. But yeah, it's a nice little twist, I guess, where you have to go, and it works well for the lore and the overall feel of the game, pretty much. Now, my first impressions of the story are pretty good as well. Like I said, the game does have its own identity, and I'm not gonna make this too lore heavy because I didn't play Black Desert online for more than probably like 3 to 5 hours collectively over the years since it released on PC. By the time it released on console, I wasn't playing that shit anymore, so I don't know if the lore in this game has anything to do with that one. It probably does, but anyways, I think that it is very consistent throughout the game. The visuals, the overall feel of the game, like when you're playing certain aspects of it, it literally feels like you're playing Shadow of War. Like you could be fighting 50 fucking goblins by yourself. At times it feels like I'm playing The Witcher, or when I kick the shit out of someone off of a cliff, it feels like I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Odyssey Origins, whichever one, because y'all know the combat. If you've played those games, you fight with R1, R2, or RB, RT, or whatever on your PC, right? Well, it's pretty much the same as far as you using those two buttons for combat here. Triangle to kick the shit out of people or punch people in the face or whatever you're gonna do. But it feels like a multitude of different games. So that being, I guess, the ultimate culmination of artwork here, because the game definitely has its own identity, but I can't help but notice other aspects, or I guess you could say mechanics, from other games in this game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Rockstar does that constantly, you know. In GTA, the racing feels like Midnight Club because they made Midnight Club. It's not really uncommon for game developers to borrow things from other games, especially when there are techniques that did work for that game, or gamers seem to be receptive to it overall in many different games. So I'm sorry that I couldn't be the ultimate nerd and lure you out and lore bomb you with Crimson Desert lore, but I'm here to tell you, because this is a first impression video anyways, the story is pretty solid and the game feels great. All the games that I mentioned, I mean, it's subjective for some people, but all the games that I mentioned, you know, as far as how this game feels or being gumbo, though they're all good games. Like, not one of them is a shitty game. Again, that's subjective, but somebody might think you're shitty and you don't think you are, so it is what it is. But yeah, if y'all like the video, I will be uploading some more content relative to Crimson Desert, because I do like this game. I'm genuinely enjoying it, but as well as some other content too. Hey, and stay tuned for a POV drive for the Camaro, because I know I be kind of slacking on those. I got a shitload of footage. I just like playing video games, so I don't upload it sometimes, but I'm gonna do better. Peace.